After a crash, one of the first questions people ask is, how much is my case worth? But the way insurance companies calculate that number is not what most people expect. In this video, I'll break down what affects the value of a personal injury case, what types of compensation you may be entitled to, and what you can do right now to put yourself in the strongest possible position. Hi, I'm attorney Gray Broughton. We represent people across Virginia who've been injured through no fault of their own. We prepare every case as if it's going to trial, and we've helped clients recover millions of dollars after serious crashes and life-changing injuries. If you or someone you love has been hurt, contact us today at 804-507-5078. We're ready to fight for you. There's no single number that applies to every car accident case in Virginia. Settlement amounts are almost always reached privately between the insurance company and the injured person's attorney, which means the public rarely sees what these cases actually settle for. What I can tell you is that the value of your case is shaped by specific factors, and understanding those factors is the first step towards making sure you're not leaving money on the table. What drives the value of a personal injury case? The starting point for any settlement calculation is your medical expenses. That includes emergency room visits, surgeries, hospital stays, physical therapy, medication, and any ongoing rehabilitation you need. The more extensive your treatment and the more your economic losses grow, and those losses form the foundation of your claim. Lost income is another significant piece. If your injuries kept you out of work, every paycheck you missed counts. More serious injuries can also reduce your ability to earn at the same level you did before the crash. And that long-term impact on your career and livelihood is something we fight to have recognized in your case. Then there's pain and suffering, which covers both the physical pain you've experienced and the emotional toll the crash has taken on your life. This is harder to put a number on than a medical bill, but it's a legitimate and often substantial part of what injured people are owed. One common method attorneys use to estimate this is called the multiplier method, where your total economic losses are multiplied by a number, typically between 1 and 5, based on how severe and life-altering your injuries are. For example, if your medical bills and lost wages total $100,000 and the circumstances of your case support a multiplier of 3, the overall value of your claim could be estimated at $300,000. The more serious the injury and its impact on your daily life, the higher that multiplier tends to be. There is one factor in Virginia that makes this state particularly unforgiving compared to most others, and that is contributory negligence. Virginia is one of the few states where if you are found even partially at fault for the crash, you could be barred from recovering any compensation at all. This is not a technicality. It's a rule that insurance companies actively use to reduce or eliminate what they owe you. It's one of the main reasons having experienced legal representation in Virginia matters more than people often realize. The full range of compensation you may be entitled to. When someone else's negligence caused your injuries, Virginia law allows you to pursue a wide range of damages. Medical expenses are the most straightforward, covering everything from the ambulance ride to long-term rehabilitation. Lost income covers both the wages you've already missed and the future earning capacity you may have lost if your injuries prevent you from returning to the same work. Property damage covers the cost of repairing or replacing your vehicle and any personal belongings that were damaged in the crash. Pain and suffering, as I mentioned, covers the physical and emotional experience of going through a serious injury and recovery. In cases where injuries result in permanent disability, you may also be entitled to compensation for the loss of enjoyment of life, which recognizes the ways that the crash has permanently changed what you're able to do and experience. In cases involving a wrongful death, surviving family members may be eligible for compensation that accounts for funeral expenses and the profound emotional loss of a loved one. And in situations involving extreme or reckless conduct, such as a drunk driver who caused the crash, the court may also award punitive damages, which go beyond compensating the victim and are meant to hold the at-fault party accountable in a more significant way. Steps that directly strengthen your claim. What you do in the days and weeks after a crash has a direct impact on the outcome of your case. Getting medical attention right away is the single most important step. Even if your injuries feel minor at first, seeing a doctor immediately creates a medical record that connects your injuries to the accident. Delays in treatment give insurance companies room to argue that something else caused your pain, or that your injuries were not serious enough to warrant prompt care. Following through on every medical recommendation your doctor gives you matters just as much. Missed appointments and gaps in treatment are things insurers use to suggest your injuries were not as serious as you claim. Documenting everything from the scene, your photos, witness information, records of missed work, and all medical bills gives your attorney the clearest possible picture of what the crash has cost you. Being cautious about what you say to insurance adjusters is also critical. As we covered in a previous video, recorded statements can be used to minimize your claim, and early settlement offers are almost always well below what your case is actually worth. How insurance companies work to reduce what they owe you. It's worth being direct about this. In many Virginia injury cases, the first offer from an insurance company is significantly lower than what the case ultimately settles for after legal negotiation. That gap between the opening offer and a fair resolution is not an accident. It's a strategy. Insurers routinely make quick, low offers before injured people fully understand the extent of their injuries or the long-term costs they will face. They dispute the severity of injuries, point to pre-existing conditions as an alternative explanation for your pain, and sometimes delay the claims process long enough that people feel pressured to accept less just to move on. These are not isolated incidents. They are standard tactics used across the industry. The most effective counters to these tactics are consistent medical treatment, thorough documentation, and having an attorney who's prepared to take your case to trial if the insurance company refuses to offer fair compensation. Insurers know which law firms actually go to trial and which ones settle for whatever's offered. That reputation matters when you're calculating what to put on the table. If you've been injured in a crash in Virginia and you're trying to figure out what your case is actually worth, do not rely on what the insurance company tells you. Their job is to protect their bottom line, not yours. Call us today at 804-507-5078 for a free consultation. We'll evaluate your case, walk you through the damages you may be entitled to under Virginia law, and make sure you understand exactly what you're up against before you make any decisions. If this video helped you understand how settlement value works in Virginia, go ahead and subscribe and check out this next video.